Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's Crypto and Stocks TA live stream. Today is December 5th, 2021. It's about 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's a Sunday here in the USA. This weekend, we had some serious Bitcoin and crypto volatility to the downside, in addition to some Wall Street stock sell-off this past week. So we're going to do crypto for 30 minutes and stocks for 30 minutes. So before we even jump into crypto, Bitcoin, we need to look at the total market cap. Okay, this is kind of a dirty chart. So let me go back to my original idea. We can find some clues on the total crypto market cap here in that there is a daily head and shoulders that formed. Okay, so if you're wondering like, why do we go down? Why do we crash down? This is the simple technical analysis answer right here. You have a head and shoulders on the daily, very powerful reversal downside pattern of negative 20% to the downside potential. We did not hit that target yet. So the crypto market could be in for some serious pain to the downside, down to about less than the $2 trillion market cap level. That would bring us back down literally to 1.92 trillion in the blue dot. All right. So the problem with this weekend, for example, is the cascade of negative effects that happens is if we have a Wall Street sell-off of stocks, the Federal Reserve tapering program, fear, uncertainty, doubt, loss of momentum, and you get a bad chart pattern on the charts, then this kind of event will happen where when we get to the Bitcoin chart, I'll show you, but people have their stop losses set up in Bitcoin, for example, right? So the shorts, they just have to attack. You have some massive selling, panic selling, and it doesn't stop until it hits a bottom, right? There are more forces at play than just retail traders in the market. There's shorts, futures, Wall Street, hedge funds, institutions, bots, algorithms, and then there's humans. And most of the time when there's a lot of red, humans just sell. So it perpetuates. It's a domino negative cascade on the way down. All right. So that's why we have to kind of keep an eye on this total crypto market cap. That's why you see me look at this often. Okay. So if we need Fibonacci it, all right. Fibonacci, it's important. You can see here the 50% to the 618 is still negative 8 to negative 16, 17% to the downside here on the total market cap. So the issue with this white line, which is the price or the market cap, is we need to hold this zone of support. Okay, if it keeps downtrending, then we're going to see some real pain, some real red in the crypto market. It might not be over the sell-off, because you see here on the Dogecoin China ban crash here in May, June, and July, from top to bottom market cap, that was negative 50%. I'll say it again. That's negative 50% from top to bottom, relative bottom, not the bottom, but the midterm bottom, before we had some really good bullish news to reverse things, right? So either two scenarios are going to happen, okay, generally, is we're going to find a support in a bull market scenario and continue up in the crypto market. So, for example, we need to see some double bottom action or some upside down head and shoulders action or some basing, and then try to regain from that to the upside. If that doesn't happen, you might see a Dogecoin China era crash where you crash down, you consolidate, but you keep crashing until it hits a very low level of price to the point where people are saying, hey, that's a really good discount on all cryptos. If we get some bullish news like El Salvador legalizing crypto, if another country does that, a big country, or if the USA does something with legalizing Bitcoin and crypto, we will see the bounce back up. But for now, Omicron variant, Wall Street sell-off, tapering program in the stock market is just too powerful as a negative bearish sentiment in the news. All right. So we have to kind of spend some time. Don't just look at your one altcoin or my one altcoin and say it's going to moon. Is the total market cap chart is actually extremely important, because on the September 7th crash, we also had kind of this topping out action right here. You can see it. resistance, resistance, then a head and shoulders. So it's like, all right, bulls cannot maintain momentum to the upside. We did get that flash crash down here, okay? So it penetrated to the downside, right into the zone, but you've seen, where have we seen that happen before? We've seen that happen before right here in May. You penetrate to the downside, try to hit the lowest level of support you can, then we bounce up. So we might consolidate or bounce, right? In the crypto market, we could bounce up to make a lower high. But if the resistance and support does not break bull and it breaks down to the downside, then you're going to see this again, right? So you can see the downtrend starting. We're like in the middle of it or in the start of it, right? Because if it's going to uptrend again, this needs to, I need to see a strong reversal pattern like right here to get out of this. All right. So let's move on. Just take a quick glance at total 2, total 3. So on the total 2 chart, it's not so clear, right? It's just, but we drew these 2 yellow boxes. If you've been following me for a while, you know that I've been saying this is the top of the range. This is not the bottom of the range, right? So if you draw a parallel channel, in this case, from like here to here, we're at the top of the range. All cryptos minus Bitcoin, right? We're at the top of the range. We're not at the bottom of the range, okay? So anybody who longed here, even including myself, I longed with some stop loss. I tried to swing trade up here for the potential breakout. It didn't work out. That's trading. That's life. That's trading, right? Then just wait for a low level of value. But you can see here, there's quite a long ways down. If we're getting, if this is the top of Bitcoin for like a year or something like that, then there's a long way down. Just keep that in the back of your mind. Same thing with total 3, all altcoins. All right, so just a quick Fibonacci before we move on to Bitcoin itself and some altcoins, right? We could still see some downside, -10 to -20% on all these altcoins in the market. We lost the trend line to the upside. That's not good, and we're at the top of this range. So understand that there's a huge amount of downside risk if the market continues to break bear to the downside. All right, just take a quick look at futures because Wall Street, I'm curious what Wall Street is going to do tomorrow. We lost that support at the trend line at the bottom here, this one. Okay, on the futures chart, there's some additional clues that we had this double top on the price. Okay, I think I said it like 1 or 2 streams ago. Watch out for this double top on the price. If it goes down, it would be -15% or -20%, and we hit that target -16, 17% exactly. So we lost that trend line to the downside. So again, just prepare yourself. It's at the 50% retrace for futures, but futures, they, you know, shorts and futures, they like to push it as far as they can, like options as well, right? So this was supposed to be a lower high bounce. Let me show you. Lower high, but it failed. So now it's just seeking out the lowest low before it bounces one more time. So we might see $43,000, $40,000 Bitcoin at some point if it continues to break bearish to the downside. All right, now let's get into Bitcoin. Dominance is Bitcoin dominance, right? It is at this low level. So yeah, we might see an eventual bounce. It's good to always keep an eye on this dominance chart. For now, I think I'll just leave this as a parallel channel. So it is near the bottom of this. So I wouldn't be surprised if we do see a little relief bounce in Bitcoin as well. Keep that in the back of our minds. So now we have like a long-term target setup and then a short-term target. Okay, so this is the chart I was showing last stream. And I marked these spots exactly. Is if we lose to 53,000, I was saying this support level, we might see 48,000, 40,000 Bitcoin. That's exactly where we crash to. Okay, so if you set alerts, if you have a Pro Plus or Premium account, you can set your alerts and try to catch that if you're a day trader. If not, if you're a swing trader investor, we just wait for deep value, which at one point in time, it must have been, it was on December 3rd. Right here at 9 o'clock p.m. my time or midnight Eastern time, there's the super flash crash, right? On this deep, big volume is red, right? That was nice. It bounced up about 20%. from that bottom. But again, if you're a beginner or swing trader or investor, you know, we don't really try to catch like, day trade stuff like that. If you're on the computer, then it's fine, but you don't like don't try to chase it. You know what I mean? Let the trade come to you. Let the trade come to you. All right. So let's do a little bit more in depth on Bitcoin. All right. Because everyone is concerned about this right now. But if you've been in the market for a while, you know this is like total normal. Okay, why? Why is it normal? Because we were up 1,000% from the pandemic low here. Okay, we hit $4,000 to $6,000 Bitcoin in May 2020. Excuse me, March 2020, and then we proceeded to rally over 1,000%. We're still at the 1,000% range right now, 10x. So this rally, in my opinion, probably was not supposed to happen, in my opinion, because what I was expecting is this to happen, right, on a weekly chart, but we had another bull like hype rally and excitement off news. It was good news. But at the same time, if we zoom out, okay, let's zoom out like on a monthly, Bitcoin monthly. We're looking at a log chart. This is one of my big ideas that I wrote like a couple of months ago. Right, you could see this huge trend line here. You see this? We're on a monthly chart. If we did double top on a monthly, you see the price. If we double top on a monthly, there is some major downside potential that can happen on Bitcoin. So I'm going to show the bearish case right now. It's not the worst case. Worst case is Bitcoin goes to zero, but that's only if Bitcoin gets banned globally. It's probably not going to happen in the next couple of years. But if if this is a double top though on the monthly, this is pretty bad. That means the next couple of years we could see some huge downside. Like for example, in 2017 to 2019, it took 2 years for the crypto market to bottom out. So because I lived through that, right? I experienced that could happen again from right now. For 1 to 2 years, we could crash down all the way back down to $10,000 Bitcoin or less. It is possible. Okay. So that's one just very bad long-term, yearly, monthly crypto bearish setup. Okay. So just please keep that in the back of your mind. All right. $100,000 Bitcoin is possible. But if this is a double top, because we haven't had a double top on a monthly for a very long time. So if this happens to be true, it's a very powerful pattern to the downside if it comes true. $25,000, $12,000 Bitcoin are the much, much longer term monthly, yearly targets. Could take like 2 years to play out. Okay. But you have to keep that in the back of your mind. It's on the charts. It's literally there. November closed. All right. So these two trend lines, the big yellow one is my big idea. Also, if you zoom out to a weekly, you could see it also happen. You can see on the top side, we have this trend line resistance. It's been there, right? So $40,000 Bitcoin, 30,000, 20,000, 10,000. Those are all levels that we should be concerned about. So if we just Fibonacci from pandemic low to pandemic high, if this is the high for now, psychologically, you could see the double top playing out. It's just bulls and day traders. They're going to try to save it all the way down in this blue zone. But on a longer term, let's say for like a year, 6 months, the levels you see here are 43,000, 35,000, 30,000. I'm calling this out on stream right now if anyone's going to remember this and put alerts. 20,000, 12,000, right? Do not be surprised. Crypto is a very sensitive asset. It is very possible that if downside selling pressure, let's say the stock market crashes one more time, flash crash, or just crashes over time, crypto commodities would also pull back at least to 40 to 30,000, right? But at a worst case scenario, I mean, this thing could go down. Let's see, worst case scenario, under $10,000 Bitcoin. That would be very interesting, very good value spot down there. Okay, so that's the long-term picture. Now, on the weekly, though, that's super long term. That's like investor mentality. Okay, for like swing trader or weekly setups, we can see here that this weekly candle just pierced down and we're holding it literally this week. So this month of December is going to be a huge, terms critical level of support. Bulls need to hold this level. 45,000, 43,000. Let me put like a yellow box for you to see. We need to hold that. If we lose that, Bitcoin's in trouble. Okay, writing's on the wall. So now it's kind of like this last set of defense in the financial war of crypto market. We're right holding that. So on a weekly, okay, I already went through the bear case, down case. If we go bull case to the upside, you can see here, there is room to bounce again up to 60,000, 65, 70,000. But, you know, the stock market kind of has to go up too for certain, like in terms of sentiment, right? It would be kind of strange. It's possible, but if the stock market totally crashes down, oil crashes down, but then Bitcoin goes up, there has to be some really, really amazing bullish fundamental catalyst for Bitcoin to go 70,000 at this point. 100,000. Could it ever get there in the future? Yes, it totally can. But again, it's about the sentiment. Like right now, are you excited to buy crypto right now? Are you excited after this weekend's, you know, mega flash crash? It depends on what time frame you are. But for me, I would be careful. It just feels, it looks like a repeat of the Dogecoin China crypto crash. So if you really want value, somewhere in the 30,000s, so like 25,000 to 30,000 would be an interesting spot of value. It might take like 3 months to get there. But, you know, if you have patience, you might be able to get like a 40, 50% rebound um, like this. I'm saying I should just draw it. You should be, if someone does this, right? You catch that. If you happen to catch the bottom, you could get like 50% upside, right? So you just want to be able to buy it at a good spot. That's why I don't day trade anymore because of this action. I know from experience, when you get major crashes, you don't touch that. You, inside of the Wall Street, the saying is, don't catch a falling knife. What is a falling knife? What does a falling knife look like on the charts? A giant red candle. Okay, don't try to catch that. Right? These falling knives, day traders try to catch that. Always tell me they got destroyed in the market. Okay, you want to see if you want to invest, you got to buy on the uptrend, right? Not on the downtrend. You know what I mean? Because if you buy on the down, it could just crash negative 80% on you at a worst case scenario, and then you just lost all your investment. So that's the mistake that a lot of people make. All right, so weekly we have that setup. All right, we have all these levels here that are corresponding to what I just said. 40,000, 30,000, 20,000 within a certain amount of range. Okay, weekly MACD crossed down to the downside. Now let's go a little more intraday. All right, I'm being very detailed with Bitcoin because of what just happened. All right. So you can see here, the price pattern that I'm looking for, okay, is not just one little stick. It's not just one little candle wick like this blue. Okay, I need to see real price patterns or real price patterns show up. So it's not there yet. It reminds me of maybe the middle of the September 7th crash or the middle of the Dogecoin crash, but there is no setup that I see on the daily yet. Besides, it's just oversold. Okay, there might be this one here on the intraday, which I drew last time. But, you know, it didn't break bull yet. If you try to bottom fish and catch the bottom, well, on the daily, I want to see some basing. I want to see some support, not just one stick of support. That's day trader support. All right. So as a daily swing trader investor, I'm just waiting a little bit longer. All right. We zoom in a little bit here. Our 4 hour for swing traders is now oversold and there's momentum to the upside. Futures, I'm looking on my other screen, is the Asia session is open for stock market futures, S&P 500. We're bouncing up like 50, 60 points. Okay, so tomorrow Bitcoin might 6 o'clock a.m., 9 o'clock a.m., we might get a bounce up on Bitcoin, right? So the big resistance for Bitcoin is 50,000 up here. All right, so again, you have to be careful with RSI though, because if you see here, RSI was low, RSI was low, but this is not the bottom of the price, right? Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. So at some point, if this is our established lower low, we should hit a lower high, probably like $50,000, $51,000. All right, it's just after a huge crash, nerves are rattled. Everyone's like, oh my gosh, everyone's in the back of the mind thinking, is this the big crash? Sometimes you might not know, right? So if I was going to swing trade this, okay, what's the downside? There's like 13% downside, right? So just below the candle wick, 3 to -3 to -6%. If you want to be very conservative, just do a 3% stop loss. And then you could target your 6% or 9% to the upside, right? You have to set alerts in these gray lines. Pretend these are my alerts. And then you just have to monitor the stop loss. Okay, and then your alerts will show you if it bounces up. If it bounces up, just sell for a trader, right? For a day trader or swing trader. But note that I have the stop loss in there. You have to have the stop loss in there with a small amount of capital. Not, going all in every single time, you're gonna lose all your money in like 10 trades, right? So don't do that. Educational advice only. So again, the 1 hour, we're still downtrending here. We hit that flash crash on Friday, a nice bounce up. Yeah. So again, there's the MACD. So again, if you're a trader, okay, there is potential bounce attempt. But if you're an investor, like I am as well, you understand that this is just 1 week in time, right? If we don't break above 70,000 the next year, it's a huge problem for Bitcoin, right? But if you're a trader, you're just trying to scalp, or you're trying to get a swing trade 5-10%, it's here, it's right here. The setup's here if you're willing to take the risk. I'm curious though what Wall Street's going to do tomorrow. I want to see what Chicago and Wall Street, New York's going to do tomorrow morning. All right, the 1 hour chart. Yeah, we do have a MACD up cross. The price is basing at this point. You want to watch out though, because if this resistance holds on top of Bitcoin, it could just establish a lower high right here. We could fall back down. So you want to watch out for that. That's why you need a stop loss at these levels down here. Okay. So again, 45,000, 40,000, 50,000, 55,000. These are ranges that we're playing between if you're a swing trader. But just kind of zoom out. Have the bigger, longer term prices in mind. It correlates, right? You see this support, this previous resistance, this support. It's all here. Okay. It is downtrending though. I should note that even if you don't use any indicators, okay, you should be able to see the 1 hour is in a downtrend now. Okay. This was going up on the left side in October. This was hesitation. That's why in my idea, I said, watch out. If we don't hold above 70,000 or 65,000, we could fall back down to the 50,000s or 40,000 range on my stream. So this was sideways and this is downtrend now, okay? So whenever you buy in a downtrend, depending on your time frame, okay, is going to deter, and your technical analysis skills, risk management will determine if you're going to buy the bottom or not. So for me, I'm a longer term time frame trader, so this might not be the bottom for me. If you're a swing trader medium term, this might be a bounce attempt up to 50,000, 54,000 max in like this week, the next couple of days. If you're a day trader scalper, I mean, there was already the oversold bounce on Friday. So this is a day trader's dream right here. Shorts dream about this in their dreams. They want this so bad. They want the loss of support, short it down, close the position on the bounce, and then re-enter along on the day trade here to capture the profits if you're an aggressive day trader. But most people in the US, we can't really short. So this is more of a global day trader mindset. All right, but the 5 minute is just so choppy. It's because people are just playing these two levels of support. And I'm going to end it here on Bitcoin. Is you can see here, we're basing. We did have the 15-minute double bottom, great for day traders, but now we're consolidating between these levels. This is all you need to know for for the short term. Okay, we're gonna break above 50,000 or test it, or we're gonna break down below 48,000. I would just place those two alerts on the blue line, right? It's basically a flag at this point. It was a pennant turned into a giant consolidation rectangle flag to me, right? So at a good case, we might see Bitcoin go to 50,000, 53,000 on the day trade side. If it falls down, we can retest this $45,000 to $40,000 on the downside. Okay, so don't just rely on your oscillators. Just play your price levels and support levels. Okay. Hopefully that makes sense for everybody. It would be nice if we bulls can hold this. That's all I'll say. All right, I'll do a couple altcoins. Okay, because Bitcoin really is the big leader here. We'll just look at some of these altcoins. I'll go like rapid fire fast. If you're in my Discord group, I already put some support and resistance levels of the Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Binance Coin. So ETH, you can see here, last time we drew Ethereum on the daily chart, we drew this bottom side wedge, which got violated to the downside. So sometimes this stuff happens. Even if you put a trade here, like you're going to try to buy the bottom here for value, would have got stopped out. That's crypto. It's crypto. If I got stopped out as a day trader, I probably would have bought back, right? So all these levels, these are old levels now. Let's do a quick trend lines on Ethereum. So here we go. We are about to just retest that trend line support. Now that's going to be a level that we play. And you can see here, actually, let me use Fibonacci. It's easier to see Fibonacci from bottom to top, right? We just penetrated that 382, holding above the 236 level, the red line, horizontal red line. Also, if you use EMAs, 3,800, 3,300, 2,800, these three levels I'm looking at if we hit the downside. So the psychology here for like all altcoins, okay, I don't need to go over every altcoin, is this is a very similar chart. Let me draw it fresh. We were holding this uptrend. You see that? And bulls tried right here at 4,000 to create a base and try to go to the upside. But it failed this weekend. Shorts and the stop losses, domino effect to the downside. So now what I'm looking for on a daily chart is the basing. Okay, this is intraday stuff. When you get like 1 wick down and one candlestick down and then reversal, that's intraday. That's 5 minute. That's already over. That's gone. Right. So I'm looking for the next big double bottom. I'm looking for next double bottom, wherever that's going to be, or upside down head and shoulders, or basing sideways, and then we get a break up to the upside. All right. So that's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking for in this market, and it's going to require patience. How long did this double bottom, triple bottom take? It took 3 months, 2 to 3 months. How long did this one take? 2 weeks. Top to bottom, El Salvador crash, 1 month, 30 days. Right? So we might not have bull reversal until like next year. It's possible. We might get a Santa Claus Christmas rally. Yes, totally possible. But this chart pattern of the price in Ethereum is ugly to me. This is ugly, right? Lower low, almost higher low, and then lower low, lower high. So it's ugly. It's still angling down. All right, watch out for that. Watch out for that on Ethereum. Binance Coin. I warned people about this on Binance Coin like 2 weeks ago. That's why my stream is more of a longer term stream. Okay, it's not a day trading, scalping, 5 minute, 1 minute stream. There's other people for that, right? But we're trying to get the big levels here, have less FOMO, manage risk, protect your principal money, and protect your profits. Okay. There's bigger things going on. There's bigger things going on in the market than just like one small altcoin or one stock. Because I keep telling people the tapering program is a serious deal in the stock market. And Jerome Powell, we'll switch over stocks in like 5 minutes, but Jerome Powell, why we're crashing is he said he's going to accelerate the tapering program, meaning we're going to have less support in the bond market which could cause the stock market to crash and come down, which would cause Bitcoin to have volatility and possibly crash as well, right? So it's not just about like, if somebody's still in a bull market mindset right now, is like, just maybe you want to consider the downside bear scenarios as well. Binance Coin right here. Okay, so we have our resistance at 679, and you can see that in the horizontal line here. Just poked that top. The bottom side trend line here, there's a long ways down. We had this kind of almost double top, 18% to the downside, which would be $427 Binance coin, let's say in a month, if possible. If this starts downtrending seriously, it's going straight down to 427 to 400 Binance coin. Watch out for that. You can see it right here, 450, 400. Those are the two ranges I'm interested in Binance coin, not now. The only reason I would buy now is if something really good needs to happen with Bitcoin, the crypto market, like in a week or two. We need some bullish news, or the downside momentum can be too strong. Cardano here, we had this descending triangle, measurable. It might not have been 50% to downside, but 10 to 20% to downside, 30. So yeah, it's about halfway of this pattern here. 50 plus 10 divided by 2. About the first target, right? 50% would bring us down to dollar here. I still drew it here last time. Okay, so it's still play between our ranges. Kind of creepy how, kind of interesting how we drew this like a week ago. I drew this a week ago and it hit the levels like perfectly. So TA still works if you know how to use it. And then you have to be on the charts ready to trade when it happens. So if you're missing stuff a lot, then use alerts. Alt A and make some alerts. And then tell yourself what it is, right? But Cardano is in downtrend. This is not an uptrend on a daily. This is not an uptrend, okay? On the short-term, medium-term, daily. Totally downtrending. So now the point is for these altcoins, all right, where's the bottom going to be? So maybe you could scoop some up. There might be an intraday bottom here. If we bounce up, there might be 10% upside on Cardano. But again, always watch out for the downside potential. For me, there's no huge double bottom pattern, so it just could be an intraday bounce. Solana going to the side. All right, we can measure that. I'll just do quick targets on Solana. Plus or minus like 30% on Solana. That's not ridiculous for swing trading, investing. 130 could be the downside target if we break bear. If we break bull, from the top here, 30% would take us back to $300 Solana. So now we're just playing this trend line that I drew for a long time here, and we're trying to defend 160, 170, 175, 180. Excuse me. So you want to watch out for that. Dogecoin, we drew this triangle, sim triangle to the side. We drew all our supports. Alrighty, and we are just hitting that 0.78 level on the Fibonacci. We just held that. Okay, so the flash crash for now hopefully is over. We bounce back up to our 7.8 level. Was this forecastable? Yes, it was forecastable, because when we drew the triangle, I remember saying this like a week or two ago, we could go down 40%-ish. We almost hit that target, 30-40%, right? That's why you always got to use downside and upside targets. And I remember saying, if we lose this support, we're going straight down to like 15, 16 cent big Dogecoin. If we lose this, and that's what happened. It's downtrending. Shorts are going to attack as hard as they can. On a bull case scenario, though, it would be nice to retest the 20-cent Dogecoin level. Why? Because if this is our intraday bottom, let's say it's our intraday bottom, like a 5-minute 15, you could bounce up to 20 cents. It's happened before. If all crypto market, if the total market cap Bitcoin goes up, you can hit the 20 cents range. Let's do SHIB, because everyone's talking about SHIB. You might not be hyped about SHIB, but here's the thing. It's a daily downtrend consolidation. All right. In the trend lines, you can see the daily consolidation, daily downtrend. We had one last attempt, and then it penetrated our trend line to the downside and our support range. So I remember saying that like the lower 3000s could be our support on the last stream, and that was the general range to buy. If you're a day trader, try to get that scalp. It was a nice scalp, 20%. Very risky though, very risky. The crypto exchanges were having a lot of liquidity login problems at the same time. Okay, but somebody might be saying, but wait, there's a giant, what is this here? Isn't this a cup and handle? It could be, okay? That's the mega bull pattern. Could we get 500% more upside on Shiba Inu? Yes, we could. But Bitcoin needs to stop crashing and reverse up like immediately for all the altcoins to do that, right? We might see it happen in the next 1 to 2 weeks. Okay, so let me rewind back to Bitcoin and move to stocks. So again, the reminder conclusion, okay? And why am I saying this so many times is because I'm trying to I am teaching people technical analysis in real time right now. Education. There are some setups that I'm calling out on the screen right now. So the two scenarios, let's start with the bearish scenario because it's already downtrending. All right. The bearish scenario is watch out for these support levels to the downside of Bitcoin. If we crash down, we could crash back down to 43,000. Here, we could crash down to 40,000, 36,000, 33,000, 30,000, 25,000. These are all the ranges you could crash down to. Right, but the immediate test was 43K. All right, that's the bearish scenario in the short term, medium term for like the next month, December. If we happen to rally, if this trend line holds and we just flash crash penetrate that to the downside, but we're going to try to retest, you can see the bounce potential just like Dogecoin. So 50,000 resistance, 54,000. If we somehow amazingly break out to the inside, 60,000, 65,000. This is what I'm saying in my Discord. All right, so let's just take a quick glance at the intraday oscillators because the 4-hour and the 1 hour is relatively low RSI momentum. It's just held down by the EMAs. So that's why in the next couple days, I am curious if Wall Street and retail traders are going to get their confidence back this week and on the TA, and then we're going to buy Bitcoin. That's what needs to happen. That's what needs to happen. If not, we could bounce and then reject down again. All right. So the two scenarios, reject or we follow through to the upside. Either way, there's money to be made if you're short or long. Manage your risk with the stop loss, small amount of capital, and do not FOMO on intraday. If something already flash crashed intraday, that's over. I'm not even looking at it anymore, right? Now it's about this. We can get one more leg up or two more legs up to the upside on Bitcoin next couple days. Watch out for that. All right, somebody wants me to do AVAX, last one. AVAX. Okay, so keep in mind, AVAX is an altcoin, okay? So whatever Bitcoin does, it's affecting AVAX. Now, you can see the trend line to the downside here on the support downside. These are the big levels you're playing between AVAX. So you're towards the top of the range on AVAX, right? So Fibonacci, let me do a whole live Fibonacci. From bottom to top, you can see it's short-term downtrending, intraday and 1 hour, 4 hours, obviously low on the oscillators. Fine, it's great. You might get a bounce up, a bull case bounce up. Let me use a 1 hour chart. If you're intraday trader, all you need to look for on the 1 hour is, are we going to penetrate that trend line? That's it. That's it. Simple. Very simple. Bitcoin's the same thing. Is it just going to do this tomorrow for 2 days? That would be great. If not, it could retest it and then fail to the downside. So the levels you need to watch out, $80, the downside 75, 72, the big one 55. Down here, upside resistance 90, 100, and we just watch this price action. If you're trying to trade AVAX and Bitcoin, you just set alerts like what I just did here. Put your 2 alerts and then manage your risk properly. Stop loss first, right? The downside is 5 to 10%, so small amount of capital. The target is like 5 to 10% to the upside, 10% target. If we run up 20%, I would just sell there for the trade, $100. All right, so keep in mind this is just educational only. We'll switch over to stocks for the last like 30 minutes here. Stocks. All right, before Tesla RIVN, we have to look at the Dow Jones and such because that's the bigger picture market here. Then we'll do Tesla and RIVN. Also, if you're wondering like why is this guy so serious on the charts, it's because what just happened today. You know what I'm saying? This last week, I was telling people in the Discord, there's volatility, there's tapering program. We were able to get ahead of this if we understand what it is, right? And I drew this trend line here for like a month. So Dow Jones, DJI, is we are holding our EMAs. But again, this short-term intermediate DJI, right? The short-term DJI got lost to the downside. So this trend line to me is kind of like over. I'm not going to really look at that one anymore. I'm looking at these two gray lines of support here and here, right? It's still downtrending on the daily, but it is getting close to the oversold. We did hit that daily oversold on Friday. So it is possible that tomorrow we could get a bounce, and that's corresponding to the S&P futures in the Asia session right now, intraday. So what that means is we were downtrending on the 1 hour. We're hitting this lower low. Can we establish a higher low and try to push up to 35 right here? It would be nice. This is because if you look at this right here on the left side, this was earnings volatility. Apple saved the day. We had good tech earnings. Then we rallied to the top here. But now we have Omicron and tapering program, end of the year, Thanksgiving sell-off, holiday sell-off, and now we're below the trend line. So does this remind you of Bitcoin, right? So the correlation is so strong right now. So that's why I'm very carefully watching stocks, commodities, and crypto. So the two scenarios, the bull scenario is we could bounce up, maybe possible gap fill this 35,000 or retest this lower trend line right here, 35,000 to 35,500, like such. Could bounce up. How many points is that? That'd be nice. 500 to 1,000 points, right? The last oversold we got on the Dow Jones usually bounces. So hopefully we'll get this bounce going this week on stocks and crypto to the upside. But if it doesn't, you could see 34,000, 33,000 to the downside. Next, S&P. We drew this trend line and it hit so beautifully. Exactly to the exact spot of our trend line and our supports. Okay, so we were saying watch out for this downtrend. Watch out for it. And we hit that. 4 hour, it is oversold. Range is not bottom, but 1 hour we are bouncing down there. So again, I wouldn't be surprised if we just got like a 50-point move, 1% move tomorrow. It will change too if President of the United States, President Biden, comes up on TV tomorrow and it's like does a speech to calm everybody down or does something bullish. We might see some upside. So again, 1 hour, it's relatively low. Somebody's trying to hold this intraday at oversold bounce. So I wouldn't be surprised if we bounced up to like a 4,500 or 4,600 on the upside. But keep in mind, it's still downtrending. All right. So unless we break out heavily above 4,600, it's still a downtrend. So I'm saying we're going to bounce, but it's still downtrending down. Watch out for that. Longer term though, on the S&P, because we did pull back. Let's see if we Fibonacci. It looks like we pulled back 50%. Yeah, right there to 50%. So we could bounce target to like 4,500 to 4,600. It's the defense. We're playing defense right at the yellow line right here. So if we don't bounce up, this thing is screwed and we're going down to like 4,400. Okay, NASDAQ, tech stocks. So tech stocks try to penetrate above this. You can see I try to break out and say retest and break to the upside, but did not work. Okay, we're downtrending back. Looks like we pulled back to 618 Fibonacci. Yep. Right there, we've just bounced off that, perpetuated a little bit by Tesla. Elon Musk kept selling, right? He's like secretly selling quietly. If you're paying attention to the forums and stuff, he is selling still quietly. Tesla stock. It's having a negative effect on NASDAQ and Bitcoin. as well. It's not all him though. So we are seeing this 1 hour bounce to downside, and you can't see this like downtrending megaphone pattern. So I'm hoping we can bounce up to 15,000 or 15,500, like 15.1 or 15.3. Okay. On NASDAQ, if it fails for whatever reason, if something bad happens tomorrow morning, then we can pull back down. You can see the supports on the left side, 14,700, 14,500. And it's a big deal because we're talking about the entire tech stock market. Alrighty, so then let's go. Finally, we end up at Tesla. So here's the thing with my stream. Again, I am longer term, medium term trader, right? And I was saying, yes, we get the intraday bounce. Yes, we got the double bottom. Yes, we get this bounce up. Remember, I was saying, watch out for potential lower high. I don't know if you remember that, right? The sim triangle, right? Broke bear. You can measure the symmetrical triangle. What was it? 5 to 10%, 10% to downside, first target hit. So if it goes 20% down, then we're going to $863 Tesla share price. It's probably going to stop at the EMAs here. What up did my zoom? It's probably going to stop at these exponential moving averages 900, 1,000, 776. This is the big levels we're playing on Tesla. So just watch out for that. Just watch out for that. You Fibonacci this thing, and that perfectly corresponds with the levels of the EMA. So this is probably might happen. So the shorts, again, they're waiting for a breakdown of 982. 982, waiting for this breakdown. Right here. Because you can see lower low, lower high. So if it's going to be textbook downtrend on Tesla, lower low is in the cards. Gap fill down here to 900 is in the cards. It just took 1 month longer than anticipated. That could happen. But if the tech stocks are going to bounce tomorrow on intraday, though, we're talking about just like what's going to happen in the next 1 or 2 days. You could get a bounce up because you see here it's oversold on the 1 hour. Yep, you could a 15-minute, 1 hour, 4 hours oversold. So all you need tomorrow is just 4 a.m., 6 a.m., 9 a.m. Somebody's just going to buy it right at $1,000 support, and then it could bounce up significantly, like 3% tomorrow. So just watch out for that. For this situation, because there's so much volatility, sometimes you got to peek on the inside intraday. So you can see here on the 1 hour, the pattern, low, high, low, it could bounce up to 1050. Just because it's oversold on the oscillator. So Tesla, short term, we might see a bounce. Longer term, we might see pull back down. So hopefully that makes sense. RIVN, let's just erase this dirty chart. So on the daily, you can see RIVN, just like Tesla, sort of hit the lower low, lower high, lower low. So it's seeking out its lower low, RIVN. Almost a full retrace back down to the starting IPO level on my chart. 4 hours, or let's see, 1 hour. 1 hour, you can see here, I was saying, remember, watch out for the rejection of this resistance line to the downside. I think I said that, right? So lower low, lower high, lower low. And so tomorrow, if this holds the $99, $95 range, intraday for like a day or two, just maybe for like 1 hour or 2 hours, you might see the bounce possible, right? There's two scenarios. Because it's right at the resistance lines, RIVN could fall back down to 99 or 97, get really, really low oversold, and then bounce like that. So you want to be a little careful on this one because it's already bounced up for a day. There's upside down head and shoulders here on the 5-minute, 15-minute. That's why we bounced up. Let's measure that. 3%. Okay, so the top side target could be like 105 to 110. Bottom support you're looking at tomorrow morning is 102 to like 100. That's intraday stuff though. But if you zoom out 4 hours, this thing is still downtrending. So it's just a matter of, is $99 really the bottom? It could be $100. And so we would get the lower high bounce in like 2 weeks from now. So it depends on what time frame you are. All right, because a lot of people they like day trading and try to scalp and stuff like that. But if you're an investor, um, like if you're trying to invest on Rivian on a daily chart or a weekly chart, there's not enough information on the price. Again, like I said last time, you want to see like a Coinbase uh, action. So let me just turn everything off. If I'm trying to invest on whatever stock is yet, we have to wait. This, if I'm trying to buy this downtrend, I'm getting crushed. I know a lot of people got crushed. I just sat out. I said no, thank you, because I know from experience, IPO when it's downtrending, no, thank you. I don't want that. Nobody wants that. But when it starts basing, boom, right there, you hit that base. All right, now we have something to work off of. You hit a support level, okay. And then we have another downtrend, but then we establish a higher low on some good earnings. Boom, we hit that to the upside. Thank you so much, Taylor, for the 100 coins. Really appreciate that. You have a put? Awesome. I hope everything goes well for you. And eventually we could take those gains. All right. Thank you so much, Taylor, for the supporting. Always really appreciate it. Helps the stream, helps me buy coffee to keep the stream going. Thank you. So same thing here is it's kind of interesting. One thing with Coinbase on the crypto is you saw Coinbase have a head and shoulders. So in a weird way, the crypto stock market, that's how you know the stock market is leading us down. Because crypto stocks and stocks downtrended down first before crypto crashed. So that's why you always watch me like pay attention to stocks. It works vice versa too. In the COVID crash, Bitcoin crashed like first a little bit, and then the stocks crashed too. Stocks crashed, Asia stocks crashed before USA stocks. Right, so negative 13% down on Coinbase. We just hit that first target. First target reached, second target, negative 30%. Wow, we could go back down to $200 Coinbase. This could be bad. All righty. Let's just, I think I'll just end with a couple, where's my Discord? It's great. You're learning so much. It's great. TradingView changed a lot. I remember when I started TradingView, the homepage, there was like almost nothing on the homepage. I remember that. Where are we? Okay, watch list. Okay, so let me just go through my watch list really fast. If you're tuned in right now, I am live streaming on TradingView, YouTube, Twitch, and I have a free Discord group that almost every week I release a free longer term stock index and crypto index watch list. And I've been warning people about the Federal Reserve tapering program for like a month now. Volatility, crypto, Elon Musk, we're a longer term group here. So there is just some stock earnings this week. It's not the main catalyst, but there's just a couple here. So the big one is GameStop. We have GameStop earnings on Wednesday, I believe, 3 days from now. We haven't looked at GameStop in a while, so let's check this out. Let me rechart this for people. GameStop, the original meme stock. So GameStop to me is like a Bitcoin. If GameStop were to just die and crash, then you would see all the meme stocks just do the same thing. But the fact that we are consolidating for 6 months sideways, this is not good. This is not good. All right, giant sim triangle, symmetrical triangle. You can measure this thing. Very visual. Wow. 50%. I would not be surprised if GameStop crashes down negative 50%, but down to $80. I would not be surprised at all. The symmetrical triangle is there. When you have a large consolidation. Let's see what's going on weekly. Weekly. Okay, so it's not completely overbought, but looks like the larger market and earnings is going to dictate where we go here. So you can see the trend line, we just actually lost it to the downside. Just barely, baby downside flash dump. So you can see here, I'm playing these two levels on GameStop. 75 is my target. At this point, just throw up a Fibonacci get you clear levels. You can see right there, 75 would be 76, $50 GameStop. That's some deep value on GameStop if you're trying to pick some up. It's so tight, the EMAs. That's why this is a problem on GameStop. Once you lose like $150, shorts are waiting to attack this if they can. So I'm gonna watch for that. I'm gonna end soon in a couple minutes here. So with the symmetrical triangle price pattern, we can see right here, we're right at the bottom of the trend line. Let me zoom in. And it's the 200 EMA as well, 3 days before earnings. Okay, so the shorts attack this intraday. You can see the downtrend. Again, if the entire stock market is going to bounce up for 1 or 2 days, then you could see some upside on GameStop. Maybe we'll retest 180 to 190 to the upside. Not the safest. This is not a safe trade, but I'm just drawing it. Right, 6% stop loss, probably have to do 12% target or 10% target. I would wait till after the earnings, to be honest. Wait after the earnings. It's just December 8th, so I would look at this again on like December 9th. Okay. Obviously, if this is shorts are probably going to cover their position, so it might bounce up for a few days if you're a day trader. And then if they have really bad earnings, then it's going to get shorter down again, most likely. Just watch out for that. But if it has amazing earnings for whatever reason, like they sell so many consoles, PS5 or Xbox or whatever, and games, or they make a crypto deal or something like that, big bullish fundamentals with like AMC or whatever, something like that, then there's some serious potential upside, 5% to 27% upside in the triangle. Okay, it could go up like that, but it could become a Bitcoin as well and crash down. So just keep those two in mind. What else we got this week? Costco. You never know. Costco, people with this new variant mutation might have stocked up, went to Costco and bought some more supplies. So in the past couple of months, in the past month, but earnings, that's the past 3 months. The problem with Costco is on the charts, there was that RSI double top. That's why I just didn't touch Costco for a while as a trader. You can see the trend line. That's the downside target for support. We have, let me call it out, 520, 500, 480. Costco's pretty volatile on earnings. Like it moves 5%. For options, that's a lot. For Costco, it's a lot. It's kind of a large market cap stock. But you can see here, this kind of reminds me of Bitcoin, right? If you look at the price only, it's really interesting. So you see the same patterns over and over in the market, where this white price line, pretend this is Bitcoin, is crashing, and it crashed. Bitcoin had a flash crash, it came back. But then it's consolidating now. So what I want to see on like crypto and the stock market is let's just bounce up. We need to break that to the upside in the short term intraday. It's just stuck here below all these moving averages. Ascending triangle on the 1 hour. All right, if this thing's going to go 2% to the upside, target be 540. If it breaks down, 2%, 515. Price here and here on the market, but I would not touch that until after earnings. I want the earnings report to come out. Let me read it. Let me see it. What are the financials? Anything good happen with Costco, right? Before that earnings date on Thursday, I think it is. We can see the price pattern. It's already low, high, low, high. So if the shorts are going to attack this again, we can see a lower low or at least a higher low, a little pullback down to like 520 next couple days. All right, to end things, let me just take a quick look on the volatility list. What was big and moved in the market? Well, Marvell Technology had good earnings, I guess. I skipped that one. Interesting, some of these small companies actually had a rally. It's kind of bizarre. But that could be Reddit, Wall Street people. Let's just go down this list. So DD Global, it's a Chinese-based company. That's why foreign companies, if you're not in the US, I'd stay away from those just because it's so volatile. It's a completely different government and economy, so I don't even play with that. Ford. All right, so Ford is holding, it's going sideways and holding the top of the resistance range. Do not be surprised if Ford breaks down heavily, -6 to -14%, because if we cannot hold this in the price, let me erase the old. If you cannot hold that, then we are in for some potential short to the downside, right? So let me erase this. This yellow box is the all-time high, previous all-time high. So if we pull back down, easily -7 to -14% over the next couple of months if it breaks bear to the downside. If we lose this blue line, and shorts are just waiting, they're thirsting this, they're waiting for this to just attack that to the downside. Put options as well. Okay, Apple hit the top of this trend line, okay, which we drew for a long time. Unfortunately, it's kind of funny, I sold my position a little too early, but that's fine. Nice rally on Apple. We hit this here to the top side, but you could see if Apple's going to reverse down, there's another hidden trend line here. 155 looks like that downside target if we pull back down on Apple. If not, 170 is the bull target to the upside. Apple's still in its uptrend. It's still there. As soon as it does this, lower low, lower high, downstairs pattern, then it's in for some trouble. So I'll circle that for next time. We'll take a glance at NEO. Wow. Stopped out. Well, actually, this green box was for this old trade. One of my old trades here, which was successful. But you could see here, let me just erase this. NEO's in a downtrend. Daily downtrend. It's subtle, but it's there. Okay. This is a classic example. The price. NEO was uptrending like that. You see, then it goes sideways, then it's not good anymore. So they go sideways. That means people psychologically, they're just not hyped on the stock, or something good is not happening with the stock. So it just fades down. It's like I always say, when you're trying to sell something on eBay or Craigslist, if you try to list it at $100, nobody's buying it, you're going to reduce the price like 95. Nobody bids, nobody buys, $90. And that's what happens in the stock market. But stock market, if it has bad news, or the shorts attack, or the put options attack, or futures attacks, traders attack down, they'll force it down. They'll push it down themselves. So it's still downtrending. It's tightening up. There's this triangle here, almost like a GameStop. It's very similar. That's why a lot of the meme stocks, the charts look exactly the same. So if you can measure this, that would be a huge problem. If we lose this, -25% to downside on NEO to $24. Fibonacci, not from there. Fibonacci from pandemic low to high. Get some targets. We lost that 50%. So yeah, $25 NEO might be in the cards. Or we bounce up to $40 off of that low. If we hold that support tomorrow for a week or two, hit the $40 mark. Let me end on Lucid. So LCID, our bull favorite for October, November, there was that double bottom on the weekly, beautiful, but now it's fading. So all I would do here is I'm just going to Fibonacci bottom here at the top. And you can see here, we're just testing that 236 range. You could put a trend line on this price as well. That's a big drop on a daily. That's a big drop. This is how I know we're too overextended on NEO, when there's a huge gap of air. I call it, it's in space right now. It's floating in blue sky space. It's in the clouds right now. Intraday, you can find some, sideways price action. But even in the intraday 4 hour, you lost the trend line. So stocks took a big hit to the downside this past week. It's rallying, it's spilling over to crypto as well. So LCID, just watch out for $39, $32, $26 downside. If it breaks bear to the downside. If it goes up, we could hold $40 and then retest 55 like that. So these resistances above still hold. All right, the last couple, actually, we have to do this because of the crazy volatility. We have to check out oil and gold. So oil, you can see here, Bitcoin is very correlated with oil. Sometimes I consider Bitcoin a commodity, like a physical, digital commodity. Our oil targets got hit to the downside. Literally perfect. So this chart literally looks like Bitcoin, does it not? You had the rally, the sideways consolidation attempt, and then the breakdown of the trend line. You lose it. So there's definitely three relationships going on: stock market, commodities, Bitcoin as well. So with oil, we're losing that 200 EMA, just hitting that bottom oversold level. It looks like bulls they're trying to save oil right here on the triple bottom above like $46. So if this is going to happen tomorrow or this week, we could see the measured move of the price of the upside down head and shoulders right here. You could see it go 6% to the upside, retest by this trend line. Yep, 53,000. That could happen. This is our bull target. If it fails, 6% more to the downside. Breakdown is $43 to $40 oil. And don't be surprised if it crashes, because oil has been in an insane uptrend for almost 2 years now. So I would not be surprised if oil and Bitcoin both bounce up for 3 days straight. I would also not be surprised if we crash down, because it's totally possible. Right? So it's right at the resistance. If there's not enough buyers, this thing's going to pull down. So let's check out natural gas really fast. Natural gas right into our 618. 618. This is actually an interesting, the first spot of value for swing trading that I'm going to buy, possibly on natural gas. $13, $11, $10. These are the three levels. If you're a patient trader, that's what you dream about. And the all-time low, like $9. All right, so it's right to our 618 level. You might see the bounce happen on UNG in the next week or two. You could see on the 4 hour, it's still 4 hour downtrend, right? Low, like that. So you could obviously see an easy bounce attempt right here on oil. Natural gas to $15. So what is that? Trade. The risk management, maybe I'll do a couple percent to the downside, small position, 12% to the upside. That's a 4-to-1 play, 3-to-1, 4-to-1 play. So I'm probably going to buy this just personally and see what happens. It's educational only, but 618 is usually, we lost the 50% 618. The only thing that can make this fail is if stocks continue to crash for like 2 weeks, then we're going to go to 12 and 10. But for value, this is that first spot. The first spot we already lost at 15. So, but I'm talking about intraday bounces. You can see here, it's a clear downtrend. We went up, sideways, head and shoulders, then down. So if you measure the head and shoulders, 30% down. So this is not the bottom. Actually, $10 natural gas is a better spot of value. Okay, this is just for intraday traders. Okay, these three levels. But you can see buying the downtrend is always dangerous because you don't know where the bottom is. Nobody really knows until you find on the charts, you'll see the big triple bottom, right? This is just the intraday setup I was talking about. All right, last couple and then we're off. Gold. Let me actually use the gold ETF, even though there's gaps. This is the gold ETF, GLD. Anybody can invest in if you have a stock account, if you have Robinhood or TD Ameritrade or whatnot, or Schwab, or what else is there? Interactive brokers, Fidelity. That's all tradable. So we see here 2020. Well, we can Fibonacci from the low of 2018. You can see here it's still downtrending, but now it's going horizontal, right? So that's never good. So even the safe haven of gold is kind of at risk. It's right into our trend line support. So I would not be surprised if right here at 163, this is our support before gold rallies, because it's a safe haven. I would not be surprised. There's a big consolidation into a rally back to 200. That would be amazing for gold traders. It's tightening range. So it could fall back down to 162. Just watch out for that. I'm just calling out the levels. Last one for the day. Silver. Okay, so our upside down head and shoulders on silver almost hit. Intraday it hit, and then it pulled back down. Silver is not the greatest safe haven asset metal. Let's get this Fibonacci here. You can see it's just bouncing off 382 support up to 236, back down to 382, the yellow and the red line here. Still downtrending. The upside down head and shoulders did go intraday 6%, and then it crashed down. Talk about right here. We were calling this, bounced up, hit this resistance, then crashed back down. So now we're looking at these lines. So if support does not hold right here at $20 or $19, you might see the breakdown like that, $17. Then if silver ever comes down to 17, 15, 13, 11, some investors, they're just going to buy that because it's discounted. If we happen to rally in all metals, we could see a nice rally up to $23 or $25. So you just want to be careful with this kind of type of setup because sometimes even if you put a stop loss, 1 or 2 days could just poke down and you get stopped out. So it's just about small amount of capital. All right, so hopefully people watching this learn something, or I covered your stock or crypto. Again, I'm streaming live on TradingView, YouTube, Twitch once a week. And I went longer today because we had some crazy Bitcoin crypto volatility in the market. I do have a free Discord group that's open right now. If you want to join that, I do a weekly watch list of stock and crypto indexes. And that's going to do it for today's live stream. Thank you so much for tuning in, watching, and for the 100 coins. Really appreciate it. Hope you have a nice week. Always remember, no FOMO. We try to manage risk, protect your profits and position. And I hope you have a good week. See you next time. Bye-bye.